Maria stood in front of the baby food shelf, her fingers numb from the cold that clung to her clothes even inside the store. Her coat was worn, frayed at the sleeves, barely thick enough to keep her warm. In the shopping cart lay her infant daughter, Ma, wrapped in a thin blanket, sucking desperately on an empty bottle. Maria had never imagined her life would come to this. She once had a job, a tiny apartment, and dreams like anyone else. But life had a way of slipping through her fingers. A company downsizing, a landlord who didn't wait, bills piling like storms she couldn't outrun. Now, she and her baby were sleeping in a shelter, relying on whatever help she could find. But the shelter had run out of formula that morning, and Emma hadn't eaten in 8 hours. Maria stared at the price tag, more than she had in her pocket. Her hands shook. She knew stealing was wrong. She knew the consequences, but a baby couldn't drink apologies. A baby needed food. She looked down at Emma's tiny face, pale and tired, and something inside her cracked. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, slipping the formula into her coat. She took a deep breath, started toward the exit, pushing the cart one slow inch at a time. Her heart pounded so loud she could barely hear anything else. She was 2 steps away from the sliding doors when a firm hand landed on her shoulder. Maria froze. "I think you forgot something," a deep voice said. She turned, eyes wide with panic, expecting a security guard, a broken bar, a police officer, a broken bar, anyone. But the man she saw made her go completely still. Tall, well-dressed, clean-cut, expensive coat, sharp eyes. But there was something familiar about him. He looked at her for a long moment, confused. "A broken bar." Then his eyes widened in recognition. "Maria?" Her stomach dropped. Her throat tightened. He knew her. Of all people, he knew her. "Ethan?" she whispered. The name felt strange on her tongue. It had been years since she last said it. Ethan Park, the young intern she once trained back when she worked at Wilson Gray Company. Back when he was shy, nervous, and always dropping papers. Back when she helped him through every step so he wouldn't get fired. Back when she had no idea that one day he would rise all the way to CEO. But she remembered him, and clearly, he remembered her. "What are you doing here?" he asked, his voice softening when he saw the tears forming in her eyes. Maria's lips trembled. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. One look at her clothes, a broken bar. One look at Emma, a broken bar. One look at their hidden formula, a broken bar, told him everything he needed to know. He exhaled slowly. "Come with me," he said. Maria shook her head. "Please, see, broken bar. I didn't. A broken bar. I wasn't trying to. A broken bar." She couldn't even finish. But Ethan didn't trace his voice. He didn't call security. He didn't accuse her. He simply bent down, lifted the formula gently out of her coat, and placed it into her cart. "Let's pay for this," he said quietly, "and anything else you need." Maria felt her knees weaken. "On a broken bar. I can't. A broken bar. I don't have money." "Yeah, I know," he interrupted softly. "That's why I'm paying." He didn't make a scene. He didn't shame her. He didn't even look at her with pity. Instead, he walked beside her the same way she once walked beside him during his most difficult days at work, guiding her through the store as if she belonged there. At the register, he paid for diapers, formula, food, warm blankets, clothes, everything she hesitated to put on the counter. He didn't flinch at the total. As they walked out, snowflakes drifting around them, Ethan turned to her. "How long have you been struggling?" he asked. Maria swallowed hard. "Since the layoffs. I lost my apartment. I tried everything, Ethan. I really did." He nodded slowly, the weight of her words sinking in. "You once helped me when I had nothing," he said. "Do you remember?" Maria blinked. "Ethan, that was years ago." "Doesn't matter," he replied. "I wouldn't be where I am without you." She stared at him, speechless. He continued, "You believed in me when no one else did. You stayed late to help me. You taught me things you didn't have to. You cared. And that kind of kindness." A broken bar. He paused. "It doesn't get forgotten." Maria's chest tightened. She didn't know whether to cry or thank him or fall to her knees from relief. "Come on," Ethan said gently. "Let's get you and Emma somewhere warm." He drove them to a hotel, not a shelter, not a temporary bed, but a place with clean sheets, hot meals, and a door that locked safely behind them. Then he made some calls, a job interview, childcare assistance, a small furnished apartment owned by his company's housing program. Maria watched him move like a man determined to erase every hardship she had endured. "Why are you doing all this?" she asked finally. Ethan smiled, not the polished CEO smile she'd seen in magazines, but the soft, grateful smile of the young man she once helped. "Because you saved me first," he said. Tears streamed down Maria's face, but for the first time in a long while, they weren't tears of fear. They were tears of hope. Within a month, she had a stable job, a safe home, and a freezer full of baby formula. Emma's cheeks grew rounder, her cries happier, and Maria a broken bar. She felt like she had been given a second chance at life. Ethan visited often, not out of pity, but out of genuine respect. One evening, as they watched Emma giggle on the blanket, Maria whispered, "I don't know how to thank you." "You already did," he said. "Years ago, when you chose kindness over convenience." Maria smiled softly. She finally understood. Kindness could never disappear. It circles back. Sometimes when you least expect it, and sometimes when you need it most. And that night, as she held her daughter close, Maria made herself a promise. One day, when she was strong enough, she would pass on the same kindness Ethan gave her. Because the world becomes better one act at a time. One helping hand, one saved life, one moment of compassion. And sometimes as a broken bar, it only takes one person to change everything.